pretty funny, though. First, it was Christians who supported Donald Trump. Then it was law enforcement. And now he's dissing 007 fans. Perhaps no other actor in Hollywood has been more rabidly alienated over half their fan base with just a few offhanded comments than Alan Ritchson. Yes, boys and girls, the Reacher star that everybody loves out there, the show that everybody seems to really enjoy, that everybody's had a really good time over at Amazon. It was one of those shows that I actually reference all the time as something that is one of the reasons why you should give shows on Amazon a chance. Well, it turns out, boys and girls, yeah, Alan Ritchson is just either listening to a really bad PR team around him or in him in Hollywood, or maybe this is exactly how this guy thinks. And just because he looks like a super jacked Chad doesn't mean he's not just another beta male soy boy at the end of the day. And, well, I guess we're going to check out this article of Bleeding Fool and start right off with this one because, honestly, this is something that needs to be called out. This is why social media and celebrities are generally a bad idea because, trust me, it's much better for us to all go back to the days of Hollywood being mysterious and mystique. Who's she dating? What's going on with their love life? Are they together? Are they not? Is their marriage on the rocks? Let's go back to the tabloid days of what we knew about these celebrities instead of the social media days where now they open up their mouths, say all kinds of stupid things, and you instantaneously cannot stand them or their work anymore. But as always, we do try to separate the art from the artist as much as possible, no matter how terribly difficult that can be. We try to be fair around here. 007 and MAGA-hating Alan Ritchson bombs at box office. The weekend at the box office was disappointingly slow, adding to the ongoing concerns about Hollywood's declining performance this year. According to ComScore, year-to-date ticket sales have dropped by almost 20% compared to the previous year. Guy Ritchie's latest film, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, made a lackluster debut. I heard the movie was just kind of okay. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it was just okay. I've heard some people say they really enjoyed it, but I mostly heard it was just okay. Which is really sad considering the fact that it was supposed to be a Guy Ritchie film, and most of the Guy Ritchie stuff is awesome. So, unfortunately, but I'll probably just wait for streaming on it. Love me some Henry Cavill, though. Landing in fourth place with the earnings of nearly $9 million from 2,845 theaters, despite reported production cost of $60 million and featuring stars like Henry Cavill and Alan Ritchson, the film struggled to attract a large audience. Ritchie, known for his hits like Aladdin and the Sherlock Holmes series, has faced challenges with recent releases as Operation Fortune, Rouge de Gare, and The Covenant. Despite its low box office performance, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare received positive feedback from the few audience members who showed up, earning an A- on Cinema Score. The film's promotions were likely overshadowed by controversial remarks made by Alan Ritchson, who stars in the TV series Reacher. Ritchson recently criticized Christians who support former President Donald Trump, who he called a guy who does bad things to women, and made inflammatory comments about law enforcement, saying that they get away with removing people from the planet all the time, and then called himself courageous for doing so when he got pushback from the Fraternal Order for Police. Of course, call them evil monsters, and then when they give you blowback, instead of apologizing concerning the fact that they're the ones who keep you safe in your $5 million mansion or whatever else you live in, right? Those are the people that keep the crackheads and the homeless and everybody that are literally crapping on your streets out there. Those are the ones that keep them away from your very nice, your very gated community. Yeah, go ahead and crap on all that. And trust me, I got my own issues with the cops. I got a laundry list of grievances. But when a guy like this, who lives this pampered and privileged life, wants to go out there and crap on beat cops, and then when he gets pushed back, go, ooh, look at me. I'm so brave. I'm pushing back against those pigs. Go screw yourself, Alan Ritchson. I'm glad I never watched your stupid Reacher show. Because even though it's here, it's good, you're garbage. You're trash. And yes, like I said, we are going to try to separate the art from the artist. So if I ever feel inclined, I'll probably watch the Reacher show. But action guys from meat blockheads ain't really my thing. Now, if you make him a wizard, make him a wizard. Or maybe a knight in a fantastical zone. Then I might watch that. Or maybe he could be a brute. He could be a Goliath. Something cool like that. I'm down for that. I'd watch it. But, yeah, Bubba, you ain't winning yourself any points with your fan base out there. Alienating half the country is never a wise decision. And even people that generally don't agree with, like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, libertarian, conservative, traditional, Christian views of the world, even a lot of those people still love their local beat cop because he keeps the crackheads away from their house. Not a good look. Not a good look. These statements have no doubt alienated a significant portion of the audience, affecting the film's reception. And considering the fact that the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is a movie that should specifically, target alpha males, generally conservative, Christians, libertarian, just strong, independent guys that want to watch a bunch of actions with a hot chick who can handle a gun, probably not the best base of the country to upset. Yeah, not a wise choice at all. I like the idea of going back to the old saying from Michael Jordan, Republicans buy shoes too, which is why he never took sides. Maybe, just maybe, y'all can learn a little bit from your celebrity history. Now, in a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, he also shared his disdain for James Bond, particularly how the fictional British spy treats women. Oh, great. Yes, Alan Ritchson is nothing more than a feminist soy boy. Color me shocked. He's been in Hollywood for way too long. What do you want about all those muscles are actually just due to steroids and his balls are about the size of, grapes at this point, or maybe they're just completely and totally retracted into his body? Now, that's strictly speculation. That's all alleged. I have no idea if any of that's true. I'm basically just making things on the fly on my own personal speculation. So don't take any of this as actual fact or accusations in any way, shape, or form. Suggesting that the entire franchise could stand to try different things. I love those larger-than-life, over-the-top action thrillers and spy movies and the heists that are smart and ahead of the audience. That's really great. But I feel like Bond, to me personally, people are going to hate me for saying this. I love Bond, but I feel like it's all a little misogynistic and predictable at this point. Oh, aren't you, Alan Ritchson? Aren't you just so aloof? Aren't you just so evolved? Aren't you just so above the rest of this pettiness? Oh, you're not a misogynist. Yeah, I'm sure you say that to your boyfriend every time you cuddle up next to him and fondle his testicles. I'm sure that's exactly what you say to him, Alan Ritchson. Richardson's bizarre decision to express controversial political views publicly, despite the potential backlash, could be seen as misguided. I would just call it retarded. By doing so, he risked isolating a large segment of his potential audience, ultimately undermining the film's success. Instead of being perceived as noble, Richardson's actions may be viewed as foolish and lacking in discernment, ultimately harming his career prospects. And I mean, talk about not being able to read a room. We've seen the pendulum swinging back our way, back to common, and what do I mean by our way? Back to common sense, back to respecting lore, back to respecting the fans, back to respecting the customer, and not being divisive, not coming out there and trashing your audience because they disagreed with the route you went with your movie. Or how about not getting political at all? Trying to stay neutral, all of that kind of stuff. Take a page out of Sydney Sweeney's book, or heck, even the sweet little chick that played Miss Marvel. I'm not mad at her for the roles. That girl has been nothing but sweet and kind to all the fans and all the audiences, and honestly has sidestepped more BS questions from the legacy media out there and done a better job of it than people twice her age. Alan Ritchson, I think if anything, you want to maybe not be a little misogynistic? Maybe you should take a page out of Sydney Sweeney's book or out of the dear sweet little Miss Marvel girl's book, because at least then you might know how to not alienate your audience, how to not piss off half the fan base, half the country, and a whole lot of more people in the process. Hopefully, at this point, you might do a good job acting, but I kind of hope this is a nail in your coffin for the end of your career.